gangster.
Welcome to okay. You 1 second. 1 second. All right. Yes. Sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties, but salute to everybody over here in the chat. I hope everybody's doing well. And again, salute to all my black combat veterans. You know, Veterans Day, they just passed, and we're going to get straight to brass tacks tonight because we got a lot of ground to cover about this trashing of our brother Kyrie Irving in the media. And we're going to deal with all these buck dancing Sambos over here. But as I said, salute to all my black combat veterans. OK, I see Sister Back to the Basics in here. I see Jesse Parrish, Denver for Mayor in here. Salute to everybody else that's coming in and smashing that like button. Project Leroy. Sisters, see Sidonian Snow. OK, Sidonian Snow. Salute to you. But take a good look at this picture on the screen here, family. Okay, now, these are black combat veterans from World War II. Okay, so now if you know your history, our people, black folks, foundational black Americans here, have fought in every war this country has ever had. And the significance of this photo, look up the 761st Tank Battalion, and of course, look up the Tuskegee Airmen. Those were two very influential combat units that were responsible for going over there and defeating Hitler, as we all know. Okay, so as you see, these brothers were proud to do their job. You see what they got written on the sign? Easter eggs for Hitler, okay? Now, the reason I'm making this point, and I want this photo to really stand out to everybody in this chat because you're going to really feel it by the end of this presentation. We have fought for everybody in this country that's over here to have the right to come here. And even before we fought for them to have the right to come here, we went and fought to defend them in their nations from all types of tyranny. Okay, so now you see these brothers here. Look at them. I guarantee you they both had families. And I guarantee you that they both joined the service like a lot of our combat veterans, thinking that they were going to get the same respect that their fellow soldiers that were white were going to get. But unfortunately, that's not how things turned out. Do you know, or if you didn't know, you're about to know, do you know that a lot of times there was still segregation in every branch of the military back then? Okay. I mean, it was so bad to the point where, like, if German prisoners, Nazis, were caught, you know, hey, they got to eat in the same mess hall as like the United States soldiers, but the black people couldn't. Everything was segregated. I'm talking from medical care on the field. Okay, everything was segregated. Everything that you can name in the United States military was segregated. They had like a black version and a white version. Yet and still, our brave foundational black American veterans went over there and endured that, thinking, okay, if I do this, maybe this will earn me some respect. It didn't. When these brothers came back home, a lot of times, even in the bases and the towns and the bases where they were at, the locals still practiced Jim Crow against them. Didn't matter if they had on a uniform or not. Didn't matter if they just came over from overseas risking their lives to defend this nation and others. Didn't matter. So I'm saying that to say this. When anybody in the anti-black white supremacist sector of the small hat community, okay, when they turn on us like they did with Kyrie for simply posting a link to something, didn't threaten nobody, didn't wish harm on nobody, didn't say he was going to do anything, didn't promote nothing, just posted a link to a movie. All of them got on code and came at this brother like he threatened to do what Kanye did, because that's two different things. Two different things. A lot of people keep trying to conflate that. It is not the same. Okay. Kyrie made no statement, no threat, no kind of way. Okay, so now they get on code and strip this brother of his livelihood, trying to anyway, start finding him, and this long apology list, making demands about what he's going to have to do and everything. Okay. I'm going to tell y'all what I like about this list of demands that they gave out here. This is what I like about it. I say good, cool. That's the new standard. You raised the bar. So from now on, that's how we need to approach it. That same list of demands, when they offend and insult us, hey, we're going to have to come with it. Nah, apologies ain't good enough no more. Because, see, when you look at this picture right here, understand that's somebody's grandparents, man. That's somebody's grandparents right there. I don't know about all of you, but if you are a fellow combat veteran, if you have veterans in your family, we're proud of our brothers and sisters that have served in the military, because we know what they had to go through, especially back during that time, and what they had to endure. So it's a personal insult when anybody comes over here to this country and disrespects foundational black Americans, because, see, we got blood in from not only slavery, but from fighting in every war this country ever had. Each time, brothers and sisters were thinking, okay, if I go and do this, maybe it'll be enough to get me treated as a human being. Maybe even if it's not for me, well, maybe my kids will benefit from it. See, when you think about the word sacrifice, right? Sacrifice, the people that have to make it, they have to put themselves on the back burner. It's a lot of things that they want to accomplish or what have you, but they're thinking down the line for generations. So they said, you know what? Maybe not for me, but maybe for my kids and my grandkids. And yet we see where we are and how we're being treated today. So before I get into this presentation, I have a message for anybody in the anti-black sector of the Jewish community. You can get mad at this broadcast all you want. Not going to be no hate speech, but we're going to tell some truth over here. The black community 100% stands behind our brother Kyrie Irving. You come at him, you coming at all of us. You are not going to bully people and accuse people of things that they did not do and then have us abandon our people like the rest of these sorry excuses for males, because I'm going to call them something else here tonight. that I'm going to put on display here. That's not going to happen. We got that brother back 100%. So with that said, I want to get on to something because we're going to do a bit of recap. It's old news now, but I got to refresh your memory so we know exactly what we're dealing with here. Go ahead and let this play here. And then we're going to break some things down. All right. Now look on the screen at what you're seeing. This is that statement released from the Brooklyn Nets. Okay. Now this was released on November 3rd of this year. And we're going to read this statement. We're going to read it. Over the last several days, we have made repeated attempts to work with Kyrie Irving to help him understand the harm and danger of his words and actions. First of all, what words and actions? What words? He just posted a link, which began with him publicizing a film. And listen to how they use these words. Semantics always matter because semantics is a part of warfare. Publicizing a film containing deeply disturbing anti-Semitic that term which young people to hear this to understand exactly what that means. Okay, so they're going to say, we believe that taking the path of education in this challenging situation would be the right one, and thought that we had made progress with our joint commitment to eradicating hate and intolerance. And instead of education, what they mean is indoctrination. That's exactly what they mean. And as far as the hate and intolerance, again, I say show us where he promoted hate or intolerance for anybody. See, we're going to have to get to a point where we hold people's feet to the fire with this, because see, for so long with the entirety, and I'm not separating the part of the anti-black white supremacist Jewish community from the rest of the white supremacists. I deal with them as a whole. For far too long, we have gone on and let these people lie on us without challenge. Those days are over with. You say he did all this promoting of hate and intolerance, and you're going to have to prove it. So let's read on here. We were dismayed today when given an opportunity in a media session that Kyrie refused to unequivocally say that he has no anti-Semitic beliefs, nor acknowledge specific hateful material in the film. This was not the first time he had the opportunity, but failed to clarify. Now, before I read the rest of this, when have they ever put a white athlete in front of the media and told him he failed to clarify any anti-black thing that he said towards us? Have they do kind of detrimental to the team. Accordingly, we argue that to be associated with the Brooklyn Nets. We have decided that Kyrie serve a suspension without pay until he satisfies a series of objective remedial measures. Yeah, they're the remedial ones that address harmful impact of his conduct. The suspension period served is no 5 games. Okay. Now that we got that out the way, because I just wanted to read that so that y'all hear. Here's what I know. Here's what I want to know. And shout out to my brother Corey Holcomb, because he was one of the first to point this out. You had keeping up with current events in New York when they fired a lot of people for not getting that certain medical procedure. Now they have to get in court to give those people. It's one thing if you're dealing with you got to get that money out. Again, as brother Corey Holcomb pointed out, they gonna owe Kyrie millions. Oh, they gonna owe this brother millions. And I hope he sue the shit out of their asses and get every dime and then some from him. Because, see, I would not be surprised if the theory is correct that they're doing this to this brother to keep from having to pay him that. You see what I'm saying? See, we always have to look at things in a 360 and look at the bigger picture behind a lot of these things. There's always an ulterior motive. because as several people have already pointed out, when these people keep throwing this up and there's nothing there. See, this is the thing that I want a lot of the brothers and sisters on that level, whether you're an athlete, an entertainer, whatever the case may be. Once you start making that kind of money, you need to understand this. Like our brother Kyrie Irving knows, because salute to that black man. He is actually an example for young black children. You must understand that you are still black, okay? No amount of money is going to make these people not treat you this way. And see, we're in a post-racial society. Remember that crap during the Obama administration? Everybody was parenting. Well, show me the white people standing up for Kyrie, huh? In large numbers. Where they at? White teammates, white people in the media. You got a few here or there. But think about it. Where are they to defend our brother? Where are they? I don't see very many. Somebody let me know if you see a lot of them, because I don't see a lot of them. Okay. So here's the thing that I'm going to point out further when it comes to that, right? We don't see a lot of them standing up for Kyrie, but you know what we do see? Oh boy, we see every flavor and shade of buck broken Sambo going after this man like little pits of white supremacy that they are. And we're going to examine that here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Or we're going to examine that. So with that said, I'm going to let y'all see a couple of things here. Now check this out. Here we are with Adam Silver. And as you know, this is the commissioner of the NBA. Now, Adam Silver is saying Kyrie Irving's apology wasn't enough. Okay, now keep in mind, this is before the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan addressed the situation with both Kyrie Irving and Kanye West. Oh, they're just attacking this man, coming at him left and right. It's not enough. When is it ever, not enough when they offend black people? Because, see, we're going to have to put this at the forefront since they want to play this game good. It's time for you to play this game because, see, now, due to a lot of events that have taken place, black people across this nation are more on code than we've ever been. And see, this is one of the things that we need to take a unified stand for. And it presents an excellent teaching opportunity to show you the difference between Kanye and Kyrie. You see, when you go against your people and these people come at you, they surround you like wolves because they know you don't have no backup. Your race is your team. You've heard me say that many times. You heard our grandmaster teachers teach us this. Your race is your team. So when they see that you have stepped away from your team, they know they got you. Like Kanye. With Kyrie has never turned his back on our people, and he hadn't jumped out there and started making all types of Sambo statements. So we got this brother's back, and we're going to continue to have his back. The nerve of this little bullet head Count Dracula looking fucker talking about his apology wasn't enough. So you extort the man. He pays $500,000 at first, and then I've heard they tried to up it. That wasn't enough. He got to give more. Then you came with this long list of demands talking about apologizing and denouncing the movie, and you got to sit down with their rabbis and all. I'm like, man, if y'all don't carry y'all little tiny hat wearing asses straight to the 10th level of hell, man, nah, man. See, I'm going to tell you what I hope happens. What I hope to see is our brother Kyrie start reaching out to brothers like Ice Cube. Get what you need to get from them legally as far as the money that they owe this brother. Get that and move on. Move on, brother. It's okay to move on because, see, I hope that the brother continues to take the stand that he's taking because they made him come out and give, somewhat of an apology. But as far as all these listed demands, it comes to a point as a man, as a black person, period. But we talking about manhood. You can't get me to compromise my manhood for no amount of money. When I have a wife and children looking at me as the head of that household, as father, and technically your children are supposed to see you as their first superhero if you're a father. And when I think back to how my children and my wife are going to look at me in my community, you can take that money and go straight to hell. I'll get more money. It ain't nowhere in the hell that you going to dangle anything over me as a black man. See, what I'm speaking about, and I get it. I know a lot of you are still in the workforce, but when you become self-employed, a business owner, and you're an entrepreneur, you see it differently. See, those of us that fit that mold, we tell these people to go to hell before we'll sit there and bow down to them like that. It's motivation, not the only motivation, but it's motivation to get yourself in a position where you are in control as much as you can be in this system of your economic stability and your future. And we got a long way to go with that as black people, because see, this is why we were pushing for reparations. Shout out to Brother Tariq Nasheed for the successful reparations rally that was held in DC at Freedom Plaza, November the 5th. And see, you got a lot of people that are angry about that and talking about what we not going to get, especially people not even qualified for reparations. But see, this right here makes the point that it was the right time to pull that rally off, and now is the right time to be pushing the issue of reparations, because see, one of the things that would prevent these pieces of shit from doing this to this brother, when we own, operate, and control things, they don't have the ability to counsel any of us. They never will. See, this is why we have to push ownership not only amongst ourselves, but we have to push this amongst our children. We have to push this as a standard amongst our children. We have to show them that we are trying to get in control of things and own things, so that we are not at these demons' mercy like this. Because see, I can't ever think of a time where a white person has even just said or let alone did something to a black person and they had them jump through white supremacist circus hoops. Exactly what I'm gonna call them. Can anybody in the chat remember a time where they put a white person on display and just parade them around like they some pariah to humanity? All this over a damn post and a link. See, we have to keep stating how ridiculous that is. You see what I'm saying? We have to keep stating how ridiculous that is. Because, see, one of the things that we owe the next generation of young people is to make sure that they're well informed on what white supremacy is and how it operates on code. And see, this is why for black people, being on code is a matter of life or death. It is. It's a matter of life or death. It's not optional for us to be off code, because you see what happens when you do that. Whether it's a Kanye West, a Stephon Clark, we saw how that worked out. It's countless others that fall into the coon category that have seen what happens when you go off code. So see, this is something that we have to set a new standard and tradition of staying on code and having each other's back when these demons come at us. Because see, if they see that we stand together with somebody and that person's community, which is us, foundational black Americans, is not going to turn on him, then they know they got a hell of a fight on their hands. And we have backed them down plenty of times throughout history. See, when we fight back, we win. Y'all notice that? For those of you that are in new black media spaces that are always wondering why we always talking about history, because see, history reminds you of who you are, who your people were, who you are now, and who you're supposed to be going on into the future, carrying on teachings and traditions to the next generation. You see what I'm saying? So this is why history is important. Yes, those things already have happened there in the past, and we don't live continuously in the past, but we take those past lessons and bring them forward into the present. And then when you have knowledge and you apply it, it becomes wisdom. And we need our elders and our ancestors' wisdom to be applied more than ever, in conjunction with all the new innovations of technology now. See, whether it's a smartphone, a laptop, any device that you have, we have the ability to generate our own media today. And see, that is a tool and a weapon to fight back against white supremacy. See, before we had that, just think about how much harder it was for brothers and sisters like, Malcolm X, Fannie Lou Hamer. I could name on and on as far as our elders and our icons. Even if you go back to the beginnings of things, our sister Ida B. Wells, think about how hard it was for them without the resources we have at our disposal today. See, we're supposed to be hell on wheels against white supremacy in every form with everything we have today, with our resources, with our acumen as far as in different professions. If you're a person in the black community, no matter what your profession is, you're supposed to be trying to figure out how to use it to produce justice. Everybody's position, everybody's skill set is important. Everybody. Everybody in this chat, everybody that's listening to the playback, no matter what state you're in this country, Your position and your skill set is important as far as dismantling the system of white supremacy and replacing it with a system of justice. So with that said, you know, we going to get further into this because, see, we got a lot to examine. And I'm going to warn you now, this ain't going to be a PG-13 broadcast, because when I get to these soundboards in this broadcast, I'm going to really read them bastards their rights. Because it's time for us to start drawing a line in the sand on these type of people and letting it know and letting our society know that if you go this route, you are a permanent pariah to your people. You can't come back. That's going to have to be the penalty that we set as far as the social consequence. You can't betray us, then hop back over here like everything is cool. So that's it. Let's get further into the presentation. Now, check this out, right? Showing you this at the beginning for a reason. This is an Israeli ambassador, okay, to the United Nations. Ambassador Gilad Erdan, okay? You see that? That's his Twitter profile right there, right? Take a good look at that face. Look at his position. Again, for those that just now coming in, this is Gilad Erdan, the ambassador of Israel, ambassador to the United Nations of Israel, okay? So that's him. Now let's get over here to what he said, all right? Because we got to bring this thing back so that we teach in a 360 over here. Here's the statement that plenty of you have already seen, but if you haven't seen it, we're going to read it together. This is what this Israeli white supremacist bastard said to Kyrie Irving. The Nets are showing no tolerance for hate. We can't pick and choose when we want to stand against injustice. Kyrie hopped on the trend of being anti-Semitic and was put in his place quickly. I hope he opens his eyes beyond the conspiracy theories he spreads and can educate himself. Now, again, when we see the white supremacists bold enough to jump out here like this, don't be angry. Damn sure don't be afraid. Let them be where they are and press them and ask questions, as our Grandmaster teacher Neely Fuller taught us. What is this place? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm curious to know what the place is, aren't you? I want to know what is my place. Don't y'all want to know what y'all place is? I would like him to tell us and be vivid about this place. What place is this? What place am I supposed to be in as a black man? Or what place does he think we're supposed to be in as black people? I wish Mr. Erdan would tell us this, because, see, you know, don't half step with it. Come out and say what you really mean. Come out and say what you really mean. We got to start making sure that when these people jump out there, we press them on it. See, this never needs to be let go. One thing I want to teach y'all over here on this platform. When these people make these kinds of statements like this, don't put it out your mind. You always remember this. What they say. See, we're going to take a page out their book. They got a 2-word phrase. Anybody know what it is? Anybody know what the 2-word phrase in the Jewish community they always say? If you know the phrase, type it in the chat. I want to see how many of y'all know what that phrase is. 2 words that they always tell their people. They tell their people, no matter what happens, big or small, never forget. Never forget. That's exactly what we need to do. Never forget at all, ever. Because, see, we have gotten to a point in black society where they have begun to try to exploit the forgiving nature of our people. I'm going to tell y'all right now, brothers and sisters, on a lot more things before this, but definitely right here, this is the time to set the standard on. Now, we're not going to forget either. In fact, not only are we not going to forget, we're going to have to address some things way back in the past that we did put to the side and kind of look the other way on. Nah, it's time out for that. So, yeah, we finna take a page out their book, since they like to copy and steal everything from us. It's never forget time over here in Foundation of Black American Society. And see, let's get further in this, because there's some other things we're going to have to get to here. I want y'all to take a look at this, right?
Gary, while we're on the topic of promotion, why did you decide to promote something that Alex Jones said?
That was a few weeks ago. I do not stand with Alex Jones' position, narrative, court case that he had with Sandy Hook, or any of the kids that felt like they had to relive trauma, or the parents that had to relive trauma, or to be dismissive to all the lives that were lost during that tragic event. My post was a post from Alex Jones that he did in the early 90s or late 90s about secret societies in America of occults, and it's true. So I wasn't identifying with anything of being a campaignist for Alex Jones or anything. I was just there to post. And it's funny, and it's actually hilarious, because out of all the things I posted that day, that was the one post that everyone chose to see. It just goes back to the way our world is and works. I'm not here to complain about it. I just exist.
And to follow up on the promotion of the movie and the book.
Can you please stop calling it a promotion? What am I promoting?
Put it out on your platform.
But I'm promoting it? Do you see me in front of
putting it out there, people are going to say that you are
promoting. Put it out there, just like you put things out there, right?
Yeah, but it's not
you put
stuff,
things out there for a living, right?
Right, but my stuff is
so
not
let's move on.
filled
Let's
with
move on.
anti-Semitic
Let's
stuff.
move on. Don't dehumanize me up here.
I'm not doing that. You're free to post.
I can post whatever I want, so say that and shut it down.
So now let's pause it right there. All right. Now, as you saw with this reporter, let's be 100% clear on this. When this reporter was sent out there to grill this brother about that one post that he made, pay close attention to the language that he kept using over and over. See, that came from the top in their community. Because I wouldn't be surprised if that reporter was a Jewish person. I wouldn't be surprised. The average reporter would have asked questions, and not that they wouldn't have been given orders from ESPN or whoever, but he was invested in continuing to promote that lie and that propaganda. See, when these people get ready to target somebody, you better believe that everybody in their community from top to bottom that chooses to practice that anti-black racism, they are on code with it. And even more so towards us. Because see, think about it. When you look at Mel Gibson and the rest of them that has been accused of being anti-Semitic with some very egregious things that they've said, they don't even come that hard at them. Did they drag Mel Gibson like that? No. There's been plenty of people that have said things about them and actively meant harm. But see, when they got the complexion for the protection, they only go so far with it. See, this idea that when a black man simply posts something that you don't agree with, they all gather together like serpents and come after the brother. See, these are teaching tools and teaching lessons that we have to give our youngsters, our teenagers. Be if you're a black father and you're not having conversations with your teenage children about what they're doing, to Kyrie Irving, you failing, man. Get on your job. You got to prepare them for this because it's coming their way. They don't have to be in the NBA or have millions of dollars. It's coming their way if they live long enough and nothing happened until we dismantle this unjust system. But see, I like how this brother kept his poise. He wasn't tolerating the foolishness. And see, this comes from being very well informed on the information that they're talking about. It comes from being very well informed of their demeanor and what they intend for you. So when you already know what you're dealing with, you approach it a certain way. You have a certain demeanor towards it. And that's what he displayed here. He was no nonsense and he was shutting it down. Let's let him continue.
And move on to the next question.
But Kyrie, you have to understand that
I don't have to understand anything from you.
But it's not me.
Nothing.
By
It's no people that you're making up, bro. Move on.
But by posting
Move
what
on.
you
Next
did,
question.
anybody is
You
going
guys
to
have
look
any more
at it
questions?
and they're going to say,
You guys have any more
does he have
questions? Because this is going to be a clip.
beliefs?
This is going to be a clip that he's going to marvel at. Is this any more questions?
But you're not answering the question.
No, this is another.
And see, understand that before they started this avalanche of coming after this brother, right here, what we're reviewing right here in the early part of this broadcast, this is what did it. This is what did it. When this brother stood up and said, I'm not going to let you run over me. I'm a grown man. I'm going to stand on what I say. And you're not going to put words in my mouth and back me down. When they saw that, they was like, oh, no, nigga. Oh, no. Oh, no. He stepped out of his place, as the Israeli ambassador said earlier. See, he wasn't in this place that they got for us to stay in. When you get out that place, oh, man. Oh, boy, they have to turn the dogs loose on you then. Yeah, but let's let them continue.
Answering your question. Oh, my God. Let's make another Instagram clip so we can be famous again. Next question.
Are you asking?
Now, this is something here that I think should be on every shelf in every black household, particularly now that this situation with Kyrie Irving has come back up. This book is called $40 Million Slaves. And many of you in this chat room are probably familiar with this, but if not, you need to get this book. You need to get this book by William C. Roden here, okay? Read this book from cover to cover. Make sure that your teenagers are familiar with what's in this book, okay? See, let me share something with you that my family did when I was growing up. When it came to literature or anything as far as the events of the news of the day, especially pertaining to our people and how we're being treated with anti-black racism, these were family discussions. Okay? When you hold family discussions about these types of things, you preparing your children in a way where now they're not just out there having to deal with things. You get to ask them questions. They get to ask you questions. You get to see how much they understand, because that's our job. We have to make sure our children understand what white supremacy is. And see, this book lets you know, as we're seeing, no matter how much money they have, this goes to show you that it's not about the money. It's about how strong your mind is. You got people that are multimillionaires, even billionaires, bowing down to these people. That's how strong white supremacist indoctrination is. And that's how afraid and cowardly some of our people are. See, a lot of people over here in this chat, if you had $40 million, man, y'all already know they wouldn't be able to tell you nothing. They wouldn't be able to tell you nothing. I know they wouldn't. Look, if I had it like that, man, listen, you couldn't stop me from doing for my people. There's only one way that they could really stop most of us who love our people from doing things for them. They will have to threaten our families or do something to them. Now, a lot of you may say, well, how do we not know that they're threatening some of these people's families? I'm going to tell you how you know that's not the case with all of them. Am I saying they've never done that? No, not going to say that, because we don't put nothing past these damn devils. But is that the majority case? No, I'm going to tell you why it's not. If most of these sound bowls that's going against our brother Kyrie here were being threatened, their family was being threatened, everybody in your family ain't going to keep quiet. Somebody going to come forward and say what's going on. Somebody will. We would know about that. And see, let's speak further on that, family. When I use the term family, I mean it. I mean it in the sense that I'm prepared to defend the next black person next to me as long as I know that you righteous and you on code. And if we look out for each other like that, we don't have to worry about these people coming at us like that. If we had the mindset that we had pre-desegregation, okay? Let's go back to the segregation era when we had to rely on one another. We knew we was all we had. We knew it was ride or die time. It's like, okay, if these folks get at you, you know you got to depend on your people. See, besides stripping our economy away, when they integrated us, it stripped us of more than our economy. It stripped us of our sense of trust with one another to a greater degree. We stopped seeing each other as family as strong as we did back then, because, see, that was how we survived a lot. This individualism has never been our way. We are a community-based people. Now, am I saying that you're going to be able to get along with everybody in the community? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is, for me, and y'all know this, I practice this so I can speak on it. If it comes to a disagreement with another brother or sister in the community that's not harming the community, now you're not cooning now, but it's just an ideological disagreement, or, we all human, we going to have, spats here and there. I'm willing to put that to the side, especially if I know my brother or my sister needs me. I'll put that all to the side, because, see, one thing you'll never see me do is side with them folks over my people. Never. I don't care what it is. I'm going to always side with my people first, because, as I said again, our race is our team, and I love my people. So, see, if you are someone like a Kanye, if you really had love for black people, why he talking about this God, that? Nah, you wouldn't have been able to make some of the statements you made, and you wouldn't be stubborn and double down on it. Because, see, I got some content coming on him, because I don't know if a lot of you seen it, but he reacted to the comments that Minister Farrakhan made, And this goes to show you, in conjunction with what he was asked about New Black Media when he just kind of blew it off, Kanye don't want our help, man. He took offense to what the minister was saying. I'm like, fool, that is one of the most powerful voices and allies that you could ever have on your side with what you're going through. So see, again, for the people that keep trying to defend him, there you go right there. Y'all saw that clip, or you will, because if you hadn't, I'm going to cover it. I'm going to break that down on this channel. Not going to do it tonight, but I'm just speaking on that to show you that this man doesn't even recognize where his strength and where his allies are going to come from. Because see, in his mind, with the things he got going on, he don't see himself as one of us anymore. I'm going to tell y'all right now, man, if Kim Kardashian came out and professed her love for him and took him back, man, he'll be right back to doing the same old cooning, man. Same old cooning. He wouldn't give a damn about none of us over here. I want y'all to keep that in mind when it comes to not just him, but anybody like that. If you got somebody 1 foot in and 1 foot out, and then the next time you look up, you see them, they're like, oh yeah, now that I'm good again. Hey, I don't know you niggas. Okay, cool. The new line of demarcation is when you take that route, you stay where you led. Okay. Once you go out that door, you can't come back in with us anymore. It's time out for that. We don't deserve that as black people in society. We don't deserve that. We expect it from the oppressor class. But see, when it comes from our own people, it's got to be consequences for that, ladies and gentlemen. So I want y'all to pay attention to what's coming up next. Because see, man, I'm telling you, this right here is going to make some of y'all stomach turn. It really is. Yeah, I went here with it. Look at this piece of shit right here. You sitting up here on a Sports Illustrated cover with shackles around your wrists and a shackle around your neck. A black man, foundational black American man, a $40 million slave with no integrity and no pride, Charles Barkley. That's what we looking at. In addition to that, he and many of the other people that we're going to get to here tonight that's criticizing Kyrie on integrity claim to be straight men as far as we know, put on dresses. Let me tell you something right now. It would be one thing if those men were gay or trans or whatever you're going to be. Cool. Stand on that and do what you do. No problem. But if you profess to be a straight man and you putting on dresses and then you have the audacity to open your mouth about somebody else's integrity, everything that you say is null and void to me. And see, this despicable image that we're looking at right here, family, let me ask y'all in the chat. Could anybody pay you to do this, what we're looking at right now? Is it any dollar amount that somebody from the dominant society could come to you and tell you, hey, we got this idea for this photo shoot. It's not anything that's going to educate or teach black children anything, but just because they thought it'd be a cute idea. Charles Unchained, living large and holding forth on everything from his golf, money, politics, to Michael Jordan, to sports and Enron. Man, look at this, man. Look at this. This is the epitome of pathetic, man. See, one thing that I want people over here on this platform to make sure that you are hell on wheels about and very strict about is making sure the younger generation know when somebody's mocking you. You better make sure they know. For a minute, while you're looking at this despicable image, take Charles Barkley out of it. Put an Asian person there, Hispanic person, a Jewish person. Put any of those different races of people there and attribute this to them taking a picture in relation to something traumatic or terrible that happened to their people. You think you could pay them to do that? See, find me the cover where there's a Jewish person posing in front of a gas chamber for a Sports Illustrated magazine or anything else? Can anybody find me that? Find me the picture of a Japanese person on a magazine posing like as if they're in an internment camp. Find me that. You don't see any of that. Or if you have, enlighten me. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it at all. You know why you're not going to see that? Because their people respect themselves. See, when you have people like Charles Barkley, long time coon, people keep wanting to think that you can reclaim people, the error of their ways. They say you can't do that. When a person gets their age, it's one thing to train a child and get a child back on the right track. On up into your early teens, okay? On up into your early teens. You know what I'm saying? And early 20s, I'll say. But when you get 30, 40 years old and you doing this, you too far gone. You done made your choice to be over there with them people. And it's time for us to accept that, ladies and gentlemen. Some people don't need to be reclaimed. That's like taking some rotten crops out of a healthy field and then putting them back in there with your healthy crops. See, some of these Sambos and Sambets too, they're doing our people a favor. They're separating themselves from us. And I say, let them stay where they are and close the gates behind their asses. You don't need nobody like this that's willing to make a mockery of something. And then, you know, he was probably too dumb to know they was mocking him. They don't come up to any other group trying to get us to embarrass our people like that. They don't. But see, I'm going to tell you why Charles Barkley did this. Charles Barkley did this because he don't see himself as one of us. Anybody think that he see himself as one of us? Because see, if you did, in addition to not just selling out for any dollar amount, what you would do is say, you know what, man, how my community going to look at this? Before you even get to the community, how my family going to look at this? My mother, my father, my children, my brothers, sisters, uncles, cousins. See me sitting up here on a damn magazine with chains around my neck willingly. Them people not the same as us, man. They're not the same. But see, he's not by himself, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no, he is not by himself. Oh, we got a lot more to get to. Ooh, yes, we do. Oh, we do.
Are you surprised that reaction, some of the things that you did, hurt people?
Yeah, I think I can ask a better question. It's just, where were you when I was a kid, figuring out that 300 million of my ancestors are buried in America? Where were you guys asking those same questions when I was a kid dealing with learning about the traumatic events of my familial history and what I'm proud to come from and why I'm proud to stand here? And why, when I repeat myself that I'm not going to stand down, it has nothing to do with dismissing any other race or group of people. I'm just proud of my heritage and what we've been through. And the fact that this has pinned me against the Jewish community. And I'm here answering questions of whether or not I'm sorry or not on something I didn't create. And it was something I shared. And I'm telling everybody I'm taking responsibility. Then that's where I sit. So, you know, these same questions that you guys ask, me dealing with it as being a melanated, pigmented person all around the world and dealing with racial biases against my skin color, demeaning me because of my religious beliefs, and I'm still sitting in the seat standing. So, full responsibility, again, I'll repeat it, for posting something on my Instagram or Twitter that may have had some unfortunate falsehoods in it. But I also am a human being that's 30 years old, and I've been growing up in a country that's told me that I wasn't worth anything, and I came from a slave class. And I come from a people that are meant to be treated the way we get treated every day. So I'm not here to compare anyone's atrocities or tragic events that their families have dealt with generations of time. I'm just here to continue to expose things that our world continues to put in darkness. I'm a light.
I'm a beacon of light. It's what I'm here to do. You guys ask me questions about basketball, I give you my expert opinion. You guys ask me about other things, I give you my opinion, and it's met with whatever you believe the perception or the deception is. You guys investigate my life every day, and you justify it by serving your own purpose, which I honor. I would like the same respect in return. Figuring out just like anyone else, the same energy when we're talking about anti-other things. Because just because I post a documentary doesn't mean I'm anti-Semitic. And doesn't mean that I'm automatically standing with everyone that is believing in it. So it's unfortunate timing that we're in, but I'm glad that I could stand on the truth because I'm not afraid of these mics, these cameras. I used to be looking everyone in the eye and telling them the truth. And I'm proud of who I am. Any label that you put on me, I'm able to dismiss because I studied. I know the Oxford Dictionary, you look it up, right? It's one of the biggest mistakes I had in being a kid was not knowing European or Western language until I started looking it up and understanding the definitions and why they say, if you want to trick a black person, put it in a book. I was wondering my whole life why they said that. Now I'm 30 years old and I know reading is a superpower because it helps me understand where I'm going and where I come from, like a tree with roots.
Ladies and gentlemen, I let that play in its entirety without interrupting it because, see, I want you all to understand exactly what scared the shit out of these white supremacist bastards coming at our brother here. Everything that this brother so eloquently spoke, they fear young black children hearing that and seeing the image of a dignified, articulate, self-respecting black man saying, I know who I am, I know where I come from, and I do not fear you as long as I am standing up in truth. They hate that. They hate that. That's what they have been trying to eradicate. And if you doubt what I'm saying, tell you what. Hold in your mind everything that you just heard Brother Kyrie speak on. Hold it right there. And then compare the images that they promote to our people, especially our young people. Do they promote self-respect to our young black people? Do they promote truth to our young black people? Do they promote anything that helps discover the origins and truth about our history to black people, young black people? Do they promote anything about integrity to young black people? Do they promote anything as far as about becoming your own boss, respecting and loving other black people? Do they promote any of that to young black people today? See, you need to understand how invested in the programming and the propaganda that the entire mass media is. They're invested in that. And see, the reason why they're coming at Kyrie Irving so hard, you have to take it on back to the plantation days. And the reason why they buck broke a lot of our ancestors, because see, they know if you let just one of us raise up with a spirit of rebellion against this unjust system, we break it. Just one, not a group, just one. This is why they're coming at our brother like that. Because see, they know that if one of us stands up, especially from the men, not to discount our sisters, but especially from the men, when the men stand up and get ready to say, you know what? I will not tolerate your injustice anymore. I'm going to speak against it. And then they know that other men are going to say, you know what? I stand with my brother. I stand with him 100%. And see, when you take a stand against something, as far as oppression and injustice, you do something about it. That's what they fear. Now, the image of this bastard right here, and yes, I'm calling him one because, see, for me, I'm going to tell y'all something. A lot of people are shocked at what LeBron James is saying, but I was through with him when he didn't stand up for Tamir Rice, and he said what he said about that. Even further, think back to the Buffalo massacre that happened in Buffalo, New York, when our brothers and sisters up there were murdered by that white supremacist Peyton Gendron. I didn't hear him give any condolences or offer to do anything for them families up there. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember it. But when that shooting happened, that tragedy down in Uvalde, oh, he had a lot to say about that. Him and a bunch of other Sambos. People running down there, donating things, giving things to people. And I'm just like, hey, where was all this for our community, man? See, I'm going to tell you why I have such disdain for these coons like this, right? When they stop seeing themselves as one of us, they start seeing themselves as one of them. Trained attack coons. That's what I call them. Because, see, I'm going to let y'all hear what this one has got to say. And you're going to see exactly why I called him that if you had never seen this before. I'm going to let him do his own talking.
Me personally, I don't condone any hate to any kind, to any race, to Jewish communities, to black communities, to Asian communities. You guys know where I stand, and it's part of the reason why I didn't air the shop episode when we kicked that out of the archives, because there was hate conversation going on there, and I don't represent that. There's no place in this world for it, and nobody can benefit from that. And I believe what Kyrie did caused some harm to a lot of people. And he has since, over the last, today was yesterday, he apologized. But he caused some harm, and I think it's unfortunate, but I don't stand on the position to harm people when it comes to your voice or your platform or anything. So it doesn't matter what color your skin is, how tall you are, what position you're in.
Before I let this big overgrown shit eater finish, that's exactly what we call them in the South. A shit eater is a worthless dog that ain't good for nothing, a mutt. Before I let this little pit mutt of white supremacy finish, yeah, I don't have no respect for him. Nobody like it. LeBron James, did Kyrie Irving do anything, or is it that they said he did something, you butt-broken bastard? The brother posted a link to a documentary. See, I'm going to tell you how you know he full of shit, and everybody that's talking about that. Because, see, tonight in this broadcast, not one of these sons of bitches that we going to analyze here took the issue up with Amazon, the site that's selling the movie, who Jewish Jeff Bezos. Nobody has no smoke for him. See, look, you would almost sound genuine if you came at Kyrie because he posted the link, didn't say or threaten nothing to nobody. You would almost sound genuine if you had the same smoke for Amazon and Jeff Bezos. Yeah, we going to go there with it. Oh, but you're not saying nothing about that, though, LeBron. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to let him finish, and I want y'all to point out and see if maybe my ears are bad. Maybe I'm getting old. Maybe he did say Jeff Bezos and this, and I just didn't hear it. Maybe he mentioned Amazon and this. I just didn't hear it. Y'all let me know. But I didn't hear it. I'm going to let him continue.
Promoting and soliciting or saying harmful things to any community that harm people.
Now, see, I'm going to tell y'all why I find that so despicable. As a black man, when you wake up every day and look at yourself in the mirror, you're supposed to get up with some integrity and some principles behind yourself. And the integrity that you have and the principles that you have behind yourself should mean that you stand up for something as a black man. It should be hard for you to bend and bow down when you know that you're being oppressed and you see your other brothers and sisters oppressed. I would respect it if you know that you're a coward. If you said, you know what? I've been a coward all my life. I ain't got nothing but cowards in my family. I know courage ain't my strong suit. That's not something I do. It's alien to me. I'll just be quiet. Do that. At least be on code enough to shut up and be a quiet coward before you come out and crucify your people with these bastards like this. Let me read you this tweet. Let's read it together. I told you guys that I didn't believe in sharing hurtful information, and I'll continue to be that way, but Kyrie apologized and he should be able to play. Oh, now you want to backpedal. That's what I think. Why you didn't say that at first? Why you didn't say that at first if that's truly what you think? It's that simple. Help him learn. He should be playing what he's asked to do to get back on. Okay. Listen, man, listen. If that was truly on this bastard's heart, why he didn't say that from the jump? That's my issue. See, as a black man in a system of white supremacy, my brethren, my brothers, all across this nation, I need to see that you got the same conviction that I have when it comes to standing up for injustice. In whichever way you choose. You got children out here that's got more conviction than this bastard. I am greatly offended when I see people like LeBron James who won't even stand up for a child. Tamir Rice murdered. You got children. You a father. But you said nothing. I don't trust anybody like that, family. I never will. I can't. Because, see, there are certain things that you see happening to your people no matter where we are, not just in America, but all across the world. It does something to your spirit if you love your people when you see harm inflicted upon them. And see, when you see these people like him that can be so tone deaf, and then you take the unmitigated gall and audacity to step over there and defend and toe the line for the oppressor class, you know, brother of mine, I don't know you. I don't know you. We got a lot more to get to. Let's continue.
What's your reaction?
Nothing. Because it's bulljive. This is what Kyrie said in part of the statement. I'm aware of the negative impact of my post, the Jewish community, and I take full responsibility. I do not believe everything said in the documentary was true or reflect my morals and principles. I'm a human being learning from all walks of life, and I intend to do so with an open mind and a willingness to listen. There are several things that we can call Kyrie Irving and we can say about Kyrie Irving. Open-mindedness is not one of those things.
Shit eater number 2. Did you see how he's sitting up here bucking his eyes in front of this white man? Skip Bayless with that list. Skip. Show that good man on national TV. I despise these bastards. You big overgrown you on TV like this, sitting there bucking your eyes, reading this crap when you know damn well this man hadn't done anything wrong. Boy, y'all, I'm gonna light these motherfuckers up tonight. I'm telling y'all right now. Don't let your kids in the room with this, because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to contain it. Let's let them finish.
Where's I'm sorry? I thought all apologies, something has to say, I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm sorry. What the negative attention, my post.
Look at his face. He looked like something that just jumped off a plantation. Y'all's the boss. There they go over there. They tried to get to the fence. I stopped them, boss. I wired it up good, and I told you because I knew they was coming. That's exactly what he looked like. Oh, hopping by a bastard with glasses, and you sitting here in front of this shriveled up Dracula-looking bastard, Skip Bayless. Just no shame. See, look at him. It looks like one of us is wearing our uniform, but this is not a man. This is a coward. That's what this is. When you commit this kind of treason against our people, you lose the honorable earned title of black man. You are a male, and you are wearing our skin, and you are a disgrace to it. That's what he is.
Brought on a said community. Oh, you send your agent, your stepmom, and your dad to me. You didn't meet with them. So what did you learn? I'm just trying to figure out the open-mindedness. When people are trying to talk to you about what you said, you shut them down. Y'all dehumanizing me. So where is this open-mindedness? part of the documentary, if you saw it, do you agree with it? What part of the documentary of the book, if you read it, you don't agree with? I need to know these things.
Yep, I do too.
I think they're going to need to know. So maybe they can educate you and enlighten you, Kyrie. His myopic is a singular focus.
Now, if you thought the cooning was finished, oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, that boy shine new tap shoes up good, boy. He had to put that tap shoe on, boy, and get going. Let's listen to him.
Is him and what goes on in his world. He gives a damn about anything else.
Yeah.
That is crazy to me that this man says, I ain't here to judge no.
Hey, crazy because they're a man. Yeah, well, at least he is a man. You not one. Because, see, I'm going to go ahead and put it out here. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a reason why we call these bed bucks and bed wenches out. Yes, I'm going there. Because, see, when you see these pieces of shit like that, as soon as they go and lay up with a white woman or a white man, whichever one that you fit, but we talking about Shannon Sharpe right now. Oh, they've arrived. They've landed in the land of lice, and now the rest of us don't matter. And that's how they devolved to this piece of shit that we see here on this screen.
Somebody asked you to judge Kyrie, but the organization should have stayed out of it.
This is sort of the flip side of shut up and dribble. This is actually, I want to dribble and you shut up, right?
Yeah.
Just shut up.
And these are the way the NBA is now. The media has so many outlets now, and their stories hit pretty fast now. So that's where all the chaos is coming from. Everybody has an opinion on the situation. Man. This dude hit.
Okay, I'm going to tell you how this is going to come across.
His support.
Now pay close attention to what Skip Bayless is about to say. Pay close attention to what he's about to say.
Of Kevin Durant, and he stepped in it.
It's going to come across like, okay, so Kyrie offended a bunch of Jewish people. Who cares about the Jewish people? That's how it's going to come across. I promise he would accept it and take it.
He stepped. He should.
See, he had because we all know we should be so concerned about what the white people think since we have a place we're supposed to be in, right? That's what he meant. And look at him with his mouth open, man. See, look, I'm gonna tell you something, man. A piece of shit like that can't come around black men with integrity. We don't fuck with people like that. He was raised here, but see, I'm gonna tell you how you know the people like him that are from somewhere else and was raised down here, they can't come around regular black folks like this. Cause we got our coons down here, but them coons, you can't be a coon and dwell down here in the South too tough like that amongst us. It's penalties for that down here. You better believe me when I tell you. So you gonna have to go over there with all your white coaches and everybody that was grooming you to be an athlete, because see, that's another part of the problem too. When a lot of these people become athletes, their handlers are all white, everything white, all around them. And if you haven't raised that child, especially if the father isn't in the household, if you haven't raised that child and prepared them for what they're going to deal with and have them a grounded and rooted foundation in not only their history and who they are in black empowerment, you get a big shit eater like Shannon Sharpe. Yeah, I said it.
He should have kept his mouth shut. If he was going to say what he said, he should have just stayed quiet.
He should have said, "My shut, Mouser." He should just stay quiet.
He should have just stayed quiet. Because he put himself into something he shouldn't have. And now he's in it, smack dab in the middle of it.
He's in the middle of it. And next we might hear from Sean Marks that both Kyrie and
how you get up in the morning and look yourself in the face after you look at this on TV, man? I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, man. I don't know about the rest of y'all. I couldn't, man. I just couldn't.
Kevin need to sit down with the Jewish leaders, right?
Yeah.
Kevin needs to be enlightened just about what line got crossed.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody this.
Fuck you and your line, Skip Bayless. Fuck you and your line. Y'all been crossing lines with my people, man, going on over 400 years. You talk to me about a line. If you just came in and you saw at the beginning of this broadcast, I showed you what our people put on the line for his people. What the equivalent of that for us? I don't see it anywhere. Where are large numbers of people going to war to free us? They don't even stand right here with us in this country, and they call us their countrymen. I had never seen it that way. We got another shit eater we got to examine. I'm gonna go ahead and let him talk for himself before I light his ass up.
I'm Jalen Rose, and I would like to apologize for a comment I made earlier on NBA Countdown. I question why a woman's name who had an alleged affair with Celtics head coach Ime Udoka was not made public. After an internal investigation, and it was discovered that she was a subordinate to the head coach, I now understand fully why her name should not be released to the public. Now back to...
Oh, you understand fully why her name didn't be released to the public. Don't give me that bullshit talking about no investigation. What it was, they told you not to put that white woman on Front Street like that. See, ladies and gentlemen, understand the situation with Ime Udoka, okay? Got caught having an affair. They both grown. They don't want that image out of some black man banging the fragile, frail, pure white woman. Even though it was by consent and she chose to cheat on her white husband with that black man, you can't put that image out there. So when Jalen, little bitch ass, went and put her name out there, he got that reprimand from the top. Boy, what you say? Get your ass out there and apologize right now. You like this job, don't you, boy? You know something else I do? I love it. Get out there and apologize. And look at him. If that had been a black woman, they would have put her name out there. I bet you that. Huh? I bet you they would have put her name out there. I'm going to show you something. The next thing I'm going to show you with this shit eater right here, because we're going to go through all the shit eaters tonight. Next thing I'm going to show you about this shit eater right here. See, when you a coward and you sacrifice your integrity like that, eventually it's going to eat at you because, see, the creator did not create us to be cowards. That is not a natural part of our biological and spiritual makeup. You were not put here to be a coward. You have to develop cowardice over a number of years and a matter of courses of being indoctrinated. And then you make a choice to be a coward. And this is what he is. So I'm going to show you something about what happens to the conscience of a coward, especially when you're around and you see the rest of your people, how they look at you. I'm going to show you. Y'all be thinking that these coons are not affected. When we take a stance against them, I'm going to show you how you're wrong about that. Oh, he's affected. All right. Let's let him talk.
For our NBA coverage. Yeah, let me have a conversation about my blackness for a second. In an election year.
Now, before I let him finish, look at the picture behind him. You got a picture behind you, Jalen Rose, of men that stood on their square, not like you. And see, I'm going to show you how you know he's so far removed from his people to try this. This is what white people do when they're trying to project the message. You go and set up a picture of some leaders behind. I guarantee somebody probably told them to do that. See, I don't even think people like this have even an iota of thought from their own minds. They're so used to being handled and controlled by people. Let's let him finish, though. I want y'all to listen to him.
And also when you have circumstances that Ime Udoka put himself in, circumstances that you have Kyrie Irving put himself in. I've literally seen people trying to politicize the messengers, and I'm one of those people. And let me just say this out loud. It's very important. I did more for this culture before 9 a.m. today than most people gonna do in their lifetime.
No, you hadn't. No, you hadn't, boy. Yeah, I'm calling him a boy, because, see, I revoke manhood on shit eaters. We got to get a standard as black men when we see this kind of coon, and we revoke your manhood card. You got to earn that. And you can throw it away with this kind of cooning. You say you did more for the culture before 9 a.m. than most people going to do all day. Okay, what have you done, Jalen? I'm not saying he's never done anything, but see, a coon always use a go-to canned ham phrase like that. I've done what you did, Jalen. Because see, we know what you didn't do. What you didn't do was stand beside your brother as a black man. Even if you was too afraid to stand beside him with words, you didn't have to say nothing. You came out here and criticized him too. Then you backtrack on this email Doka thing. Big buck broken coward, man. Let's let him finish, man.
Just because I don't think Kyrie should be derailing the next season, just because I don't believe that the lady's name should be exposed based on the fact that the power dynamics are at play and it's more to the Ime situation than most of you guys know. If I'm not trumpeting what is low-hanging fruit, that don't make me a sellout. And by the way,
before I let him finish, I want you to get ready to hear what he's about to say to let you know that some of these damn coons are so far gone, they don't even know what sellout means anymore.
I was with the great Sir Charles Barkley last night.
Great Charles Barkley. Y'all heard him say the great Charles Barkley, right? How many of you people that were in here during the earlier part of this presentation where I showed you that picture of Charles Barkley with the chains around his neck, that looked like something great to you? See, I put that in there for a reason. What's great about that? Somebody tell me. I missed that part. What's great about that? Being in chains like that, huh? Let's let him continue.
And we had a 2-hour conversation about this. 2-hour conversation about this in person. Had a 2-hour conversation with Charles Barkley about this.
Shitties of a feather flock together.
Just because I don't agree with Kanye or Kyrie, that don't mean that I'm cooning for the man.
You don't even know what cooning mean. Because if you had any ounce of intelligence at all, you would know that what Kanye did and Kyrie did are two different things. One, it would make sense for you to say, hey, I don't agree with how he did that. But even then, and you all know how I feel about the Kanye thing, even then, on that white man's media, I would only take that so far. Hey, I don't agree with what he said. You know, I hope he make amends, whatever. That's all you're going to get out of me. I'm not going to run another black person down on your media platform in front of a bunch of white people. No, you got to use me as your little attack coon. You see what I'm saying? See, these motherfuckers right here, I'm going to tell you what I really can't stand about them. For far too long, we have looked at those people as if they're the pinnacle and the epitome of society because they have a lot of money or they're talented or whatever. I posit to you tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we better start changing that and start going by not your money, not your status, not your character, but your character. That's what we should start going by. Not your money, not your status, not your talent, but your character. We should go by your character because these motherfuckers' character is trash, man. Listen to him.
That means that I don't believe what he's doing is right. That's a fact. And so it's important for people that look like me, Jacoby, in particular, to not politicize what's happening with Kyrie and Ime and Kanye and shoot the messenger. I ain't gonna always ride with somebody just because they black. If I think you wrong, I don't care what color you are. That's just being real. I ain't about to be following behind nobody that I think is wrong. And let me tell y'all something else.
Okay, Mr. I ain't about to be following behind nobody that I think is wrong. Have you not noticed, jackass, that white people stand with their people no matter what they do, good, bad, right, wrong, or indifferent? I guess you missed that part, huh, you little four-eyed fuck boy.
What he doing ain't an act of civil rights. He's not being oppressed.
Oh, listen to this part right here. See, when a coon speaks, don't be quick to cut him off in person. Listen to him. They're going to tell you exactly who they are And more importantly, they're going to show you who their handlers are. I want to see if y'all know where he get this phrase from that he about to use next. You just heard him say Kyrie's not oppressed. Listen to the reason why he's saying it.
He ain't being oppressed. He get $40 million to play basketball this year. He ain't being oppressed. So I just had to say that.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Because, see, that's a white supremacist talking point. We've done heard that before. You're not being oppressed. Look at how much money you make. You make $40 million a year. Oppression don't have nothing to do with the money that you make. Oppression is an act inflicted upon you. Doesn't matter about what you got in your bank account. We saw that with Bill Cosby. We've seen it with countless people that are affluent in black society. When they get ready to come for you, they're coming for you. People would call him intelligent or articulate or educated. But see, there's a difference between being educated and common sense. Any fool, a blind man could see that what's being done to Kyrie Irving is damn sure oppression because he didn't threaten anybody. He posted a damn link. All of this. And see, every one of these shit eaters, because I'm going to keep using it, that I'm showing you here tonight, think about how weak they would have to be to let their handlers in the dominant society, particularly the small head community in this instance, make them say something that they know isn't true. If they went and looked at the original tweet, you would see no threat. It was just a link, a post with nothing on it at all. Yet they've been handed this script to say, oh, he did this, he promoted that, he said this, he inflicted harm. All because that's what your puppet masters told you to say. I'm going to tell you something right now, man. For the sisters listening to this, all of us, but particularly you women, you better drill down on any man that you meet and see if he have any of these character traits of these shit eaters here tonight. Because see, you don't procreate with something like that. That kind of weakness and cowardice gets passed down in bloodlines. We need to cut that coon bloodline off. It need to go. It's got to go. We need to leave that in this era. We don't need another generation of coons and buck-broken punks like this coming up. Too scared to stand on truth as a black man. They're not scared to stand on them lies every system of oppression. If this is what's going to be this brown suit for y'all. It can't.
Because this party
Wanted to.
Now, this is the part where y'all going to be like, GBS, you done lost your mind, man. I can't believe you about to go here with this. The truth don't care who tell it. The truth don't care who tell it. Y'all know how I feel about Candace Owens. And she's only saying this because let's be clear. The right wing always like to use that section of the small hat community as a scapegoat. So let's be clear. I'm under no illusion to think that she's actually meaning what she's saying. It's her pals telling her to do this. So in essence, though, we're going to get the lesson of truth out of what she's saying. Because she always makes some bullshit in with truth. But I never forget who she really is. Let's let her talk.
Play that press conference in entirety because it's important. It's important to underscore, first and foremost, the absurdity of the media, the way that they are behaving in that press conference. They're essentially approaching him, pretending that every single word of the documentary that Kyrie Irving did not make, he has to answer for. Could you imagine a world in which everything you watch, right, you are somehow now responsible for every single word within it? Notably absent, by the way, is the press going up to Jeff Bezos, who is the owner of Amazon, who runs Amazon, and saying, hey, why did you allow this documentary to be on Amazon? There's no outcry. There's no everybody delete your Amazon accounts because of this documentary. They are putting this firmly and squarely on Kyrie Irving, which is problematic in the first place. I want to also make it clear that in listening to his words, it is pointedly ridiculous that they would say that he is unfit to be associated with. There was nothing that he said that I would say that he is unfit to be associated with, because he very clearly condemns the falsities in the movie. He says, I do not think this way. He actually calls them falsehoods that are unfortunate, right? He says that that is not what I said. Do not attribute every word in this documentary to what my beliefs are. He also very clearly stipulates to them when they ask him, are you anti-Semitic? He clarifies that he's not anti-Semitic. Now, why is Kyrie Irving saying that? Why is he saying I can't be anti-Semitic? Why is he saying that a couple of breaths after he talks about the Oxford Dictionary? So here is the definition of Semitic straight from the Oxford Dictionary. It's relating to or denoting a family of languages that includes Hebrew.
I always told you, Semitic is a linguistic term. And I got to give it to the Coonstress. She's going straight to give you the real definition.
Ancient languages such as Phoenician and Akkadian, constituting the main subgroup of the Afro-Asiatic family. The second definition listed is relating to the people who speak Semitic languages, especially Hebrew and Arabic. So clearly what Kyrie Irving is saying based on that definition is that he believes that he is Semitic, that he hails from maybe Africa or from Asia, which is what the documentary explores. I'm going to is Semitic, that he hails from maybe Africa or from Asia, which is what the documentary explores. I'm going to give you my feedback because obviously I watched the documentary after listening to this, right? His feedback is, do not make the word Semitic just about Jewish people in America. It includes a lot of other people, okay? Now you might disagree with that. You might disagree with the Oxford Dictionary definition, but you can't be mad at him for stating the actual Oxford Dictionary definition. The last thing that I want to say here, just regarding his press conference, and I want to say this really from the heart, because there was so much pressure that was put upon me to condemn Kyrie Irving, right? To condemn Kyrie Irving based on this press conference, to basically decide that his pain is irrelevant. When I watched this press conference, I felt Kyrie's pain. I felt pain that and not rationally as a Black person. People don't often think about how bizarre it is. We don't know where we come from, right? We don't know.
No, Candace the Coonstress, you may not know where you come from. We know where we come from. We're foundational Black Americans. But I'm going to let her continue.
You ask the majority of white people, they'll say, oh, my family's from Scotland. My husband's family can go back so many generations, and talk about where they're from in England. And when you talk to most people, they have this sort of cultural understanding of their history. We don't. It's a weird feeling. You do sort of feel out of place. And yes, of course, it's because of the slave trade. And I'm not throwing that on anybody. I'm not saying that it's somebody else's fault. But with Kyrie Irving.
Oh, yeah, you can't call out the white people. Oh, don't do that, Candace. Don't do that now. You get out there and you toe this line, gal, but don't you blame us white people for nothing. Y'all, she can't do that now. Y'all see, y'all thought she was coming on over here with us now. When it come to criticizing white daddy, now, no, can't do that.
Says is that you can't pit atrocity against another atrocity and basically say that his pain doesn't matter, that his noble pursuit of wanting to know where he came from, even if he landed on the wrong conclusions, is something that he is valid in feeling. It's a journey that he is valid in wanting to go on and wanting to partake in. So no, I'm not going to turn my back on Kyrie Irving and pretend that he's an awful human being based on this press conference. It's wrong. There are a lot of people that feel that they are in pain from the Jewish community because they're upset that he shared this link. But also, if you're not paying attention, there are a lot of Black Americans that are telling you that they feel that they are in pain because you're telling them that they're not allowed to feel the way they feel about not understanding their roots. Following the statement that was made by the Brooklyn Nets, they
So now, that was the end of what Candace the Coonstress had to say. So let's go back and look at here what Shannon the Bedbug Sharpe had to say on his tweet. I'll go it alone then. I'm never going along with something I don't agree with. Race. Never. You're right, Shannon. We're not supposed to just go along with something because the person is our race. We go along with and stand behind our people when they're right. That's when we go along with it. Because every other race has figured that out except for these coons amongst us. I just wanted to put that in. I want y'all to see what he was on.
Whenever people...
Oh yeah, I know. Oh, I know, ladies and gentlemen. I know you like GBS. What the hell? What have you done? I know, but listen, I'm gonna say it again. The truth don't care who tell it. And I'm gonna tell you right now, no matter how much I disagree with this bastard right here when it comes to speaking on our people and our women, what he said that you about to hear, everybody in this chat room gonna be forced to agree with him. I know hell has frozen over. I know it has. Winter has come early. It's frosty down in here. You can go down there and ice skate, hey, but it is what it is. I follow the truth over here. I want y'all to listen to this.
Talk about how blacks got this one word you can't say. Jews got several words you can't get close to saying.
And he told no lies.
Y'all don't hear me? Y'all don't hear me? Did I say something wrong? Jews got words you can't get close to saying, and that's power. You want to talk about power? You get close to offending a Jew, you lost your job. You get close to saying something that a Jew might not like, you need to be retrained and reprogrammed. I'm a grown-ass man and or woman. You don't need to reprogram me, you dick. The fact that Jews got that much damn gravitas to where I need to be reprogrammed and sit down with one of they motherfucking rabbis.
The day that they sit down with Minister Farrakhan is the day that I will entertain sitting down with them. They hadn't done that yet, so I can't even think about it.
Fuck you and your rabbi. The only time you'll get me to sit down with your bitch ass is if you're a rabbi, not a rabbi.
I got to give this coon props. He on code with this.
I gotta sit down and have this nigga I've never met program me bullshit. I don't know you. And then we sit down like kids listening to this motherfucking lox and bagel eating ass nigga tell us about his religion. And I'm supposed to just, oh, you're right.
I'm going to tell you right now, when you got a coon finding his manhood and stepping up like this, we all know what he on. But see, that let you know that as a black man, it's supposed to be in you somewhere to stand up when you got somebody telling you to bow down in this day and age with everything that our people have been afflicted upon. Damn, man, he shocked me. I know. That's why I had to bring it to y'all. If I would have just told y'all about this, y'all be like, man, that him? Tommy? Oh, he didn't say that. So I had to show it to you.
Y'all don't think about how stupid this sounds?
Damn it, you got to explain to me.
Yes, I know. I am sorry. I apologize. But I want y'all to see that even the coons are standing up. Jason Shitlock. You know what? I ain't gonna even do him like this for what he said. Jason Whitlock. I will pronounce his name correctly this time because he'll probably be back to cooning. But the coons are taking a stand. What the hell is going on? The coons are taking a stand.
Hey, why Kyrie Irving is on the front lines if this documentary is this anti-Semitic? Why is Kyrie Irving on the front line and not Jeff Bezos?
Wow, the coons on the front line. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Damn.
And Amazon. Kyrie Irving's not going to make a dime off of this documentary. Kyrie Irving didn't put the documentary together. He didn't put it on Amazon. And so this whole outrage over Kyrie Irving seems completely dishonest to me. Because if this documentary is as negative and as harmful as they're arguing, why wouldn't you take it up with Jeff Bezos and Amazon? That's who platformed it. That's who's profiting from it. He retweeted the graphic image that was probably taken from Amazon and Jeff Bezos' corporation.
I know, right? But y'all had to hear for yourself. We had 3 coons that's somewhat on code, even if for disingenuous reasons with Candace Owens. The truth does not care who tells it. And that makes it all the more shameful for these Sambos. But see, ladies and gentlemen, I know I had to touch on some serious subject matter here tonight, but I got a little humor for you at the end of this. And I will take the time now to thank anybody that contributed to the broadcast, because see, it's time for us to stand up and speak truth to power on these things, man. We gonna have to. We're heading into a new era. We cannot let them continue going on lying on our people like this and talking to us as if we're children, especially us as men. See, as men, it is our duty to stand up and lead the way on what integrity is in our society so that our women and our children are empowered. But, you know, hey, I've said what I had to say, so I'm gonna let Dr. Umar Johnson close it out, because see, he has some words for the sound bowls too. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, hey, you know, we gonna close the broadcast on this Black First, and I will see you all in future content.
Richard Jefferson, I sentence you to 500 lashes for conduct unbecoming a black man. Stephen A. Smith, I sentence you to 4,000 lashes for conduct unbecoming a black man. Chris Broussard, Rob Parker, I sentence you both to 2,500 lashes for conduct unbecoming a black man. Michael Wilbon, you fat, bald-head, no-neck midget, I sentence you to 3,000 lashes for conduct unbecoming a black man. Snow Bunny Shannon Sharpe, you're the biggest and strongest of everybody on the list, so I'm going to have to sentence you for 10,000 lashes for conduct unbecoming a black man and saying that no black woman can make you happy. 10,000 lashes for Snow Bunny Shannon Sharpe. Who else we got on this list?
There are a lot of whites will say that were uncivilized, they unorganized, they were
other group on the planet Earth that have taken on the devil the way we have in his own house.
Some estimates say that there were about 50,000 throughout the Americas.
Great deal, Virginia, North Carolina, the eastern border. This was a popular area for a lot of a lot of the black natives on each there.
We are survivors.
If you are really tapped in with your environment,
We were robbed of our definition of who we were, which is our nationality and our tribe. And we fell into the description of what we were from someone else's eyes.
Resistance is not just about not only violence and physically fighting back, but there has to be resistance literature, resistance language.
A whole 2 detachments of U.S. soldiers got mowed down by the Black Seminoles. They destroyed an entire U.S. military force. Out of 110 people, they killed 108. That's damn good shooting.
The Black Seminoles were using all types of guerrilla warfare tactics, and these warfare tactics are studied in military schools to this day.
They didn't like Muslim slaves. The same reason they didn't like Indian slaves, because they weren't afraid to die.
Once you realize you're not safe, your children, your families aren't safe. The people who you're bringing in the world are not going to be safe long after you. There becomes a need to stand up and survive at all costs.
We are the Maroons. We are today's Maroons. We are the force